Hello, my brilliant and unapologetic friends. Let's cut to the chase. There are some lines in life you should never, ever cross. These aren't just your average self-help tips, they're the unshakable pillars of who you are. Because let's be honest, if you're constantly bending, breaking, or compromising for others, where does that leave you? Spoiler alert, it leaves you lost, drained, and probably wondering why you ever gave up those core pieces of yourself. Today, we're diving into 7 life principles, non-negotiables that no relationship, job, or sweet-talking deal should ever make you sacrifice. These are your lifelines, the roots that ground you, and the reason you'll wake up tomorrow still feeling like you. But first, a quick shout out to everyone who keeps showing up here. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel. Thank you for being part of this journey. And hey, if this resonates, hit that subscribe button, like the video, or drop a comment below with the phrase, "I stand my ground." Because trust me, by the end of this, you'll want to claim these principles loud and clear. Alright, enough with the fluff. Let's get to it. Ready to armor up with some Stoic wisdom? Let's go. 1. Boundaries. Why you're exhausted and it's all your fault. Let's not sugarcoat this. Your exhaustion is your doing. Your life feels out of control, not because the world is cruel, but because you've handed everyone the keys to your peace. No boundaries. No limits. You've become an all-you-can-eat buffet for people who take and take without a second thought. And let's be real. How often do you stop and wonder why you feel drained? Why every hour feels like it belongs to someone else? It's not bad luck. It's because you've been too afraid to say no, too eager to please, too willing to trade your sanity for a sliver of someone else's approval. Wake up. Your peace is gone because you let it walk out the door. The Stoics didn't live like this. Marcus Aurelius wasn't sitting in a corner crying about how people treated him. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What's your excuse? Every time you let someone cross the line, you're telling them, "My time is cheap, my energy is free, my life is up for grabs." And then you wonder why they keep taking. Here's the brutal truth. If you don't set boundaries, nobody will do it for you. Why would they? It's easier for them when you're bending over backward. Your lack of boundaries is a convenience for others and a nightmare for you. Every yes you didn't mean, every favor you couldn't afford to give, every moment you gave away because you didn't want to seem rude, it's killing you. Slowly. Quietly. And here's the kicker. Boundaries aren't just about them. They're about you. Every time you let someone drain you, you're betraying yourself. Epictetus said, "Know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly." But do you even know who you are anymore? Or have you lost yourself in a sea of other people's demands? Imagine this. You're a sponge. And right now, everyone around you is squeezing you dry. Your boss? Squeezing. Your friends who only call when they need something? Squeezing. That one family member who guilt trips you into doing things? Squeezing. And here you are, wondering why you feel empty. Newsflash, a sponge that's never refilled dries up and crumbles. That's you, crumbled, because you refuse to put yourself first. Setting boundaries isn't about being nice, it's about survival. Stop letting people steal pieces of your life because you're too scared to stand your ground. No one's going to hand your peace back to you. You have to take it, you have to say no and mean it. Yes, they'll call you selfish, yes, they'll push back. But that discomfort is nothing compared to the suffocating misery of living without boundaries. Here's what you need to do. Pick one thing, just one, that's draining you. A person, a habit, a situation. Then draw a line. A hard, unforgiving line. Stick to it. Let them complain, let them whine, let them walk away if they can't handle it. You don't need their validation. You need your life back. As Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. So stop lying to yourself that everything is fine. It's not, and it won't be until you make it clear where you stand. Comment below, "I refuse to crumble." Let it be a warning, a declaration, a promise to yourself that you'll stop letting others take what isn't theirs. Because boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're about saying yes to the life you deserve. 2. Financial independence. If you don't control your money, it controls you. Let's cut the nonsense. Without financial independence, you're nothing but a puppet. strings pulled by your boss, your partner, your parents, or anyone else who's footing the bill for your life. You think you're free? Think again. If you don't own your wallet, you don't own your decisions. And that suffocating weight you feel, that's the price of dependency. Here's the brutal truth. Relying on someone else's money is like living in a gilded cage. Sure, it looks shiny. Sure, it feels comfortable, for now. But every little thing you do comes with a question. Will they approve? Want to switch jobs? Better check if they'll support you. Want to spend on something meaningful? Better hope they're okay with it. That's not freedom. That's a life shackled by someone else's generosity. The Stoics understood this perfectly. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Financial independence isn't about being rich. It's about being in control. It's about making choices without waiting for permission. It's about knowing that, come what may, you can stand on your own 2 feet. Dependency, on the other hand, is a slow death. It eats away at your confidence, your dignity, and ultimately your freedom. Imagine this. You hate your job. Every day, it chips away at your soul. But you can't quit, can you? Because the paycheck owns you. Or worse, you're in a relationship where money isn't just shared, it's weaponized. Every dollar they provide is another chain around your neck. And you keep telling yourself it's fine, that it's normal, that this is just how life works. Newsflash, it's not fine. It's pathetic. And the longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it gets to escape. You're suffocating because you've given up control. Financial independence is the air you need, but you keep choosing to hold your breath. Why? Because breaking free means sacrifice. It means discipline. It means learning to manage your money instead of letting your money manage you. But here's the thing. Freedom isn't free. If you want control over your life, you have to fight for it. Start small. Track every cent you spend. Cut the luxuries you don't need. Build a savings cushion so that when the moment comes, you can say no. No to the job you hate. No to the partner who uses money as a leash. No to the life that's slowly strangling you. Each step toward financial independence is a step away from suffocation. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your money, or lack of it, shouldn't control your decisions. Your independence does. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Or will you keep breathing in someone else's air, living someone else's life? Here's your wake-up call. Without financial independence, you're not free. You're just existing, waiting for the day someone pulls the rug out from under you. Stop waiting. Start fighting. Because if you don't claim your freedom now, no one's going to hand it to you. 3. Self-expression. Why losing your voice means losing yourself. Let's not sugarcoat it. If you're not expressing yourself, you're not living. You're existing, suffocating under the weight of everyone else's expectations while your unique voice, your creativity, your very essence withers and dies. You weren't put here to be a blank slate for others to scribble on. Yet that's exactly what you've become. Silent, invisible, a shadow of who you could be. Think about it. How often do you hold back? You don't share your ideas because you're afraid they'll be judged. You don't speak your mind because you don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't chase your creative passions because, let's face it, they don't fit into the neat little box society says you belong in. Every time you bite your tongue, every time you shrink yourself, a piece of you dies. And let's be real, how much of you is left? The Stoics had no patience for this kind of self-erasure. Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Translation? You're wasting your life silencing your voice for people who don't even matter. Why? So they'll approve of the hollow, watered-down version of you? That's not living. That's slowly suffocating under the pressure of conformity. Here's the truth. Your unique voice is the one thing nobody else can replicate. It's your power, your identity, the thing that makes you you. And yet you're throwing it away like it's nothing. For what? To blend in? To avoid conflict? To make life easier for people who wouldn't notice if you disappeared tomorrow? Wake up. This is your life we're talking about, and you're wasting it by staying quiet. Imagine this. You're in a room filled with people, and every single one of them is shouting over you. You want to speak, but the noise is too loud, so you stop trying. You sit in silence, telling yourself it's better this way. But it's not better. It's suffocating. And if you don't fight to make your voice heard, you'll drown in their noise. That's the reality of a life without self-expression. Here's the harsh part. Self-expression isn't optional. It's not a luxury or a hobby you get to indulge in when you have the time. It's a necessity. It's the difference between living authentically and living as a ghost of yourself. Every time you choose silence, you're choosing to disappear. And let's address the excuses. But what if they don't like it? Who cares? Not everyone has to like you. But what if I fail? So what? At least you'll fail as yourself instead of succeeding as a version of you that doesn't even feel real. The world doesn't need another clone. It needs you. Raw, unfiltered, unapologetically you. Epictetus said it best. Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. That's self-expression in a nutshell. It's not about shouting to be heard. It's about knowing who's in to let anyone else rewrite your story. Your voice matters. Your creativity matters. If you don't fight for them, who will? Here's your wake-up call. If you're not expressing yourself, you're wasting the one thing that makes you unique. Stop blending in. Stop shrinking. Stop letting fear suffocate the parts of you that deserve to shine. Speak, create, live. Because if you don't, you might as well not exist. Comment below. I refuse to stay silent. Let it be your declaration that you're done fading into the background. Because self-expression isn't just about finding your voice. It's about refusing to lose yourself. 4. Self-respect. The line between living and disappearing. Let's not sugarcoat it. Without self-respect, you're a ghost, not a person, not a presence, just a hollow shadow of someone who gave away too much for too little. Every time you excuse disrespect, let someone cross the line, or shrink yourself to fit their comfort, you're not compromising, you're surrendering. Piece by piece, you're erasing who you are. Here's the suffocating reality. Self-respect isn't optional. It's not some nice-to-have accessory. It's your foundation, your spine. Without it, you collapse. Marcus Aurelius nailed it when he said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Living without self-respect isn't life, it's decay. And yet, most people let it slip away, one careless moment at a time. You think it starts small, right? You let a snide comment slide. You tolerate someone stepping on your boundaries because you don't want to make it a big deal. And then, it snowballs. Suddenly, your thoughts aren't yours, your confidence is shattered. You look in the mirror and wonder, who the hell am I? Here's your answer. You're the result of every single time you chose silence over self-respect. And don't kid yourself, it doesn't stop there. Losing your self-respect doesn't just mess with your mind, it poisons everything. Every choice, every relationship, every step forward is now a battle against the doubts you invited in. The people who trample your boundaries, they're not going to stop unless you do. The Stoics had this figured out ages ago. You can't control them, but you can damn well control yourself. And controlling yourself means standing the hell up. Drawing boundaries isn't optional, it's survival. It's looking someone in the eye and saying, no, not this time, not ever again. It's uncomfortable. People will squirm. They'll call you selfish, unreasonable, or worse. Let them. Their discomfort isn't your problem. Their offense isn't your responsibility. What is your responsibility? Keeping what's left of yourself intact. But don't mistake self-respect for shutting the world out. It's not about walls. It's about gates, strong ones. Gates that only let in those who respect you, not those who see you as a doormat. It's about building relationships that lift you up, not ones that drag you down. Take a good, hard look at your life. Where have you let your self-respect bleed out? Was it in a relationship where you accepted too little? Was it at a job where you were undervalued and overworked? Or maybe it was in all the times you smiled and nodded when you should have said, enough. Whatever it was, draw the line now. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Now. Because here's the thing. Once self-respect is gone, everything crumbles. Confidence gone. Dignity obliterated. Purpose non-existent. Reclaim it before it's too late. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Translation? Let them think what they want. Your self-respect is more valuable than their opinion. This is your wake-up call. If you're tired of feeling like a shell, it's time to start fighting back. Comment below, I choose self-respect. Make it a promise to yourself, a line in the sand that no one, absolutely no one, gets to cross. My amazing Stoic friends, we're halfway through this journey together, and if you're still here, it means one thing. What we're exploring is resonating deeply with you. That means the world to me. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support is the fuel that keeps this community growing and allows us to bring you more meaningful and transformative content. And now, here's a small but powerful challenge. Comment below with the phrase, I choose progress today. This isn't just a comment, it's your declaration, your promise to yourself that you've embraced a new step forward. Let it be the first action of a perfect day and a signal to the universe that you're aligned with positive change. Remember, when you affirm positivity, you're not just speaking words, you're inviting the entire universe to work in your favor. Let's take action together, one powerful step at a time. 5. Purpose. Living intentionally in a distracted world. Purpose isn't optional. It isn't something you stumble upon accidentally or leave behind when life gets inconvenient. Purpose is what gives life its meaning, its focus, its depth. Without it, your days dissolve into routines, your energy scatters across distractions, and your personal sense of direction becomes aimless at best, non-existent at worst. Stoicism teaches us that a life without purpose is a life lived at the mercy of external forces. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, if you seek tranquility, do less, or rather, do what's essential. And what's more essential than knowing why you do what you do? Purpose is not a luxury, it's survival. A life without it is nothing more than existing, drifting wherever the tides of the world decide to take you. But here's the problem. Most people don't lose their purpose in one grand, dramatic moment. It slips away slowly, eroded by distractions, societal expectations, and the relentless noise of life. They trade their purpose for stability, for approval, for comfort. And before they realize it, they're living someone else's life, chasing someone else's goals. I've seen it happen. Hell, I've lived it. There was a time when my purpose felt clear. I knew what drove me, what gave my days meaning. But over time, the clarity dimmed. Life crept in with its deadlines, responsibilities, and endless distractions. I told myself it was temporary, that I'd get back to it when things settled down. But here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't settle down, it piles on. And if you don't protect your purpose, it gets buried under the weight of everything else. Protecting your purpose is a battle. It requires effort, clarity, and a personal commitment to living intentionally. That means saying no to what doesn't align, walking away from what doesn't matter, and facing the uncomfortable truth that not every opportunity deserves your attention. Purpose demands sacrifice, but the alternative, living without it, is far worse. Think about it. When was the last time you asked yourself why you're doing what you're doing? Are your daily actions aligned with what truly matters to you, or are they just the easiest boxes to check off? Stoicism pushes us to confront these questions, not to punish ourselves, but to liberate ourselves. As Epictetus said, first decide who you want to be, then do what you must. Clarity of purpose doesn't just happen, it's a decision. And let's not sugarcoat this. Finding purpose isn't always comfortable. It requires looking inward, stripping away distractions, and accepting that some things need to go. Bad habits, toxic relationships, even societal expectations. But when you do, you create space for what truly matters. Purpose isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. It's about saying, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for. Here's a challenge for you. Take a hard look at your daily life. Identify one thing, just one, that doesn't align with your personal sense of purpose. Then let it go. Replace it with something that does. Maybe it's an hour of focused work on a personal project. Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, commit to it fully. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you live. It's the compass that guides you through distractions, the anchor that keeps you steady in the chaos. Without it, you're just moving, busy, but not fulfilled. With it, every action becomes intentional, every moment meaningful. Comment below, I choose to live with purpose. Let it be your declaration, your reminder, your vow, because a life without purpose isn't just empty, it's a life unlived. Choose better, choose intentionally, choose purpose. 6. Time management. Treating time as your most precious asset. Time is not a gift. It's not unlimited. It's not waiting for you to figure out how to use it. Time is relentless, moving forward whether you cherish it or squander it. And here's the personal truth. If you don't take control of your time, someone else will. Every moment spent without purpose, without clarity, is a moment stolen from what matters most. Stoicism treats time as sacred. Seneca warned us on the shortness of life, that people are quick to guard their property, but slow to guard their time. Think about that. You wouldn't let a stranger walk into your house and take whatever they want. Yet how often do you let someone steal hours of your day with their demands, distractions, or dramas? The Stoics called time the only true wealth, because once it's gone forever. But here's the harsh reality. Most of us waste time like it's replaceable. We fill our days with tasks that don't matter, conversations that drain us, and distractions that pull us further from our goals. We say yes to every request, thinking we're being generous or helpful, but in reality, we're just giving away pieces of our lives. And when it's too late, we look back and wonder where it all went. Your personal time is your power. It's the resource you use to build your dreams, cultivate relationships, and nurture your well-being. If you waste it on things that don't align with your purpose, you're not just losing minutes, you're losing the life you could have lived. Here's where Stoicism steps in. It reminds us to focus on what we can control. You cannot stop time, but you can control how you spend it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Every moment counts because every moment could be your last. It's not about fear, it's about urgency. Are you using your time wisely, or are you letting it slip through your fingers? Let me get personal here. I used to let others dictate my time. I said yes to every meeting, every favor, every pointless task, thinking it made me a good person. But all it did was leave me exhausted, resentful, and far from my goals. It wasn't until I started saying no that I reclaimed my life. No to unnecessary obligations, no to distractions, no to people who didn't respect my time. That's when everything changed. Saying no isn't selfish, it's survival. It's drawing a line and saying, this is my time, and I will use it as I see fit. Yes, some people won't like it. Yes, you might feel guilty at first, but guilt fades. Regret doesn't. When you take control of your time, you take control of your life. And those who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Here's the challenge. Start tracking your time. Be brutally honest. Where does it go? How much of it is spent on things that truly matter, and how much is wasted on things you don't even care about? Then, make one change, just one. Cut out a time waster, set a boundary, or carve out an hour for something meaningful. Small changes lead to big results. Time management isn't about being busy. It's about being intentional. It's about aligning your actions with your values and refusing to let the noise of life drown out what truly matters. When you master your time, you master yourself. And that, as the Stoics taught, is the foundation of a life well lived. Comment below. I choose to protect my time. Make it a declaration, a promise to yourself. Because once you treat time as the precious asset it is, you'll never waste it again. 7. Respect. The non-negotiable standard you must demand respect is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation of every relationship, personal, professional, and even with yourself. Without respect, nothing meaningful can be built, and everything worth holding on to crumbles. Yet, here's the harsh truth. The world is full of people who will test your boundaries, push your limits, and chip away at your self-worth if you let them. And here's the personal truth. You cannot allow it. Respect must be demanded, never begged for. Stoicism teaches us to master our minds, but it doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This isn't about ignoring disrespect. It's about understanding that your reaction to it is what defines your power. You can't stop people from disrespecting you, but you can choose not to let their actions diminish your worth. Respect begins within. When you value yourself, others will learn to do the same. But let's be real. Demanding respect isn't comfortable. It means setting boundaries and refusing to compromise, even when it feels easier to avoid conflict. You might be accused of being difficult, selfish, or even arrogant. But here's the reality no one wants to admit. People only disrespect you when they think they can get away with it. Every time you let it slide, you're teaching them it's okay to treat you as less than you deserve. I've faced this personally. There was a time when I let someone close to me erode my self-respect with passive-aggressive comments and constant criticism. At first, I laughed it off, then I justified it, telling myself they were just joking or going through their own struggles. But over time, I noticed a shift. Their words started shaping how I saw myself. I questioned my abilities, doubted my worth, and allowed their negativity to dictate my confidence. That was the breaking point. Choosing to demand respect wasn't easy. It meant confronting them, drawing a line, and making it clear. This is who I am, and this is what I deserve. Some relationships ended, but the ones that remained were stronger because they were built on mutual respect. That's the power of setting a standard. You filter out the people who don't value you and make room for those who do. Respect isn't about arrogance. It's about self-preservation. It's about saying, this is what I stand for, and I won't compromise. Epictetus said, "You are a soul carrying a corpse." What does that mean? It means you are not just a body to be controlled or mistreated. Your spirit, your essence, your identity, it demands respect. And if you don't demand it, no one else will. Let me be clear. Respect doesn't mean dominating others or demanding blind obedience. It means standing firm in your values and refusing to tolerate anything that undermines them. It's not about being liked, it's about being respected. And the truth is, the people who truly value you will respect you even more for holding your ground. Here's your challenge. Reflect on the relationships in your life. Are there people who consistently cross the line, who dismiss your feelings, or make you feel small? Identify one of those instances and decide how you'll address it. Maybe it's a direct conversation, or maybe it's choosing to distance yourself. Whatever it is, take action. Comment below. I demand respect. Let this be your declaration, your vow to uphold your worth. Because respect isn't given freely. It's earned through how you carry yourself and what you refuse to tolerate. And once you start demanding it, you'll never settle for less again. Thank you for watching, my wonderful Stoic friends. Thank you for spending your precious time with me today. Your presence here means more than words can express, and I'm truly grateful to have you as part of this journey toward growth, resilience, and inner peace. If this video resonated with you, don't leave without taking action. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who could use a little Stoic wisdom in their life. Together, we can grow this amazing community and inspire even more people to live intentionally and with purpose. And before you go, let's keep the momentum alive. Drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway or your favorite phrase from today's video. Your thoughts could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take their first step toward transformation. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, every action you take today shapes the life you live tomorrow. You've got this.